Hi everybody, welcome to the Soulful Soul. My name is Gladys and this is the monthly zodiac readings. For those who don't know, the way I read is I focus more on the lessons and the personal growth that you can get from the tarot rather than the outcome. I prefer to use the Celtic cross because it gives a general overview of issues, but even in doing so I focus more on the lessons and the advice than the outcome, because there are no predetermined outcomes, right? That we do have an impact, even if in the reading the Celtic cross has a future card and an outcome card. My focus is not on that, but on what you can do in the now. Okay, so if that works for you, then you're in the right place. This is the reading for Aquarius. This is your reading for the month of November. That's wanting to come out, the Lovers. You get the Page of Swords in as your theme. What's going on? The general energy is the Page of Swords. So, wanting to cut out stuff that doesn't serve you, I think, Kat. I think that's what's going on. I'm sitting outside today, and my baby, my patchlet, is behind me here, keeping me warm. And yeah, it's a lovely energy, I must say. So maybe that's what you're up to. That's what's going on for you. Maybe it's a lover, maybe something has ended, and maybe you haven't stood up for yourself in this relationship. So Aquarius, most of you, it's going to be a relationship, a lovership, but for others it can be some kind of partnership where you have felt like you didn't have the ability, for whatever reason, to stand up for yourself, to stake your claim, to put forward what was yours, your right, what you felt was your right. You get the Two of Swords. You're very undecided, and you need to think about that, why you are feeling maybe a little bit trapped, and you're blocking your heart about something. Maybe you need to, but we'll get back there with the next round. In the near past, justice was served. Okay, so something happened in the past. Maybe it was legal, maybe a divorce. You went through something, but it looks like it's worked out well, like something happened and it ended up being quite fair. You have the Five of Cups, so there's something being offered to you that you can't see. This is in your unconscious. Instead of being aware of those things that are on offer, you're looking at the spilt milk. Don't be in like something's ended, Aquarius, and you might not think it's fair, and you're feeling two-minded about it, but it feels like it needed to happen so that you can look at the good things instead of the things that don't work. You look at the things that do work, In the near future, you have the Knight of Wands, and I think that you're going to fly towards something with a whole lot of passion. I'm not sure if it's a new thing or what. Could be a job that's ended, that feels unfair, and now you are offered something else, but you're flying forward, Aquarius. You get the Magician. this card keeps coming up, but some of us are not believing in our ability, including us as Cappies, in our ability to anchor something, to make manifest some dream, some project, something that we want to make manifest. It could be any number of things, could be anything, and for each of us it will be different. But there's some way you are not harnessing or believing in your power, Aquarius. And you get the Wheel of Fortune around you. Maybe you're just going through a slump. We'll get a clarifier for this. Maybe you're just going through a slump, and maybe something that you hoped would happen hasn't happened the way you expected it. And that was the 3 of Coins that jumped out, and that's 3 of Coins. That's what you need to think about, is working slowly and steadily towards this thing that you're trying to work on. Work with diligence and love for whatever it is. And I think that's where the Knight is moving towards. It's about appreciating the detail. So something hasn't worked out, but I feel like it's leading to something else. Let me just think about that 3 of Coins there as advice. I think that it's saying that in those 3 those 3 broken cups, there's value. You've learned so much, and it's almost like honing your skills here. So it could even be a job that ends, and it makes you feel afraid, but it's leading you to something else that maybe values you more, or where you can be valued more, where you can put more of you into. Likewise for a relationship, Aquarius. Sometimes it could even be a work that doesn't work out, and harsh words are spoken, and things break up, and then because of all those things being clarified, and because of all the turmoil, you learn something, and you are able to renew and rekindle something. Or you take all that learning was never lost. It goes into something new and something different. And in your outcome, you get the 10 of Cups, and this 10 of Cups is reversed. And I think Sag got this as well. And it's about maybe a wish that you have doesn't come as you hoped it would come. But we'll get clarifiers for that. And there's the Magician wanting to come out, and the Ace of Swords. So clarity coming. Let's see. Exhausted, actually. I'm just going to do 2 more. Oh, 1 more after you, beloveds. I'm doing like 6 today, and I'll do 6 tomorrow. Be cruel to a heart that's true. Don't be cruel. Okay, in your beneath the deck you get the 10 of Wands. So placing your burdens down. You need to lay your burdens down. This feeling of oppression. I think that whatever's happened, even if it feels unfair or painful, whatever, although I don't think so, I think you are appreciating this ending, because it feels like an ending, but it's an ending that allows you to let go. And I think it was related to love or a partnership of some sort. it's helped you look at partnerships from a different perspective. You're starting to look at partnerships in a different way, beloveds. Maybe, it could even be a partnership that ended, a job that's helped you relook at your role in that. Could I have done different things differently? What could I do differently if we were to get back together again, or if I was offered this job again, or in my next job, or in my next relationship? What could I do differently? So you're learning to look at this relating and relationships from a different perspective. And the Hanged Man doesn't just make you look at things from a different perspective. You also learn something in that process. You really do learn. You get an aha moment. And it's crossed by the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, and this card keeps coming up, standing up for ourselves. And the Two of Wands. This two has this person has burnt their bridges, kind of thing. I can't go back. So maybe there's that feeling of not being able to go back, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you are wanting to charge forward now, but I think one of the lessons you are learning, or you've learned from this partnership, is what is fair for you, and how do you stand up for yourself? How do you stand up for you? How do you show up for you, Aquarius? So you get the Two of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles, and what you need to think about. So you're two-minded about your independence. You're two-minded about doing things alone. And maybe you are going through an alone stage, but you do feel torn about it. Maybe trapped in your head about it. So you need to think about that. Why? How can being alone also be freedom, Or maybe yours is the other way around. Maybe you feel trapped by your aloneness. And for some it might be feeling trapped by that you feel trapped in relationships. And maybe that's something you need to think about, how you feel in relationships with regard to feeling trapped, right? Do you feel trapped when you're free, or trapped when you are in a relationship? Or likewise, with an organization, do you feel trapped in an organization, or do you feel lost, maybe is the word, outside of that, on your own? Very interesting. It can go either way there. And in your near past, you get the Justice card with the Hierophant. So I feel like something happened that was divinely guided, that it was from your spiritual self. It was from your, I feel like maybe a relationship ended, or some kind of relationship that was structured, marriage, or it could even be that you finished school, or a job ends, or something. But it did so in a fair way, and in a way that is right for you, that was divinely orchestrated, I think. In your unconscious, you get this Five of Cups, but you get it with the Nine of Swords. I feel like your focus needs to be moving away from what didn't work to what did work, and what can work. There are two cups waiting for you that are being offered. And it's in doing that you get rid of the head talk, because I think that you are trapped in your head about what works and what doesn't. And the Nine of Swords there, like trapped in your head, comes back to this feeling trapped by your own independence, in a way, your own aloneness. There's something about that you need to think about, Aquarius. Where is your aloneness, your own trap? And maybe how are you afraid of being alone? And if so, what can you learn from that? I feel like if you are afraid of being alone, you have to learn how to be alone first. If you are afraid of being in relationships, that's where you'll get your learning as well, something like that. you get the Knight of Wands and the King of Cups in the reverse. So I feel like you're moving speedily away from love, maybe. Maybe you are more interested in projects and work. And yeah, nice, you get the Seven of Wands there. So maybe standing up for yourself for right now is moving away from emotions or emotional situations. Maybe you're avoiding them, and maybe that's what you need right now, but you're moving towards the more rigor, the more practical, and that's what you are needing right now, I feel. With the Magician, with your cards, the Magician, taking your power, beloveds, taking your power. The Seven of Pentacles is about patience. It's not about failure. It's about being patient with the cycles of life. And I feel like I think the standing up for yourself, that's a 7, and you've got the Seven of Wands twice. Sorry. Is about where do you see yourself as a failure instead of seeing the great lessons you've learned from whatever's gone on before you. You've learned things. Now you can apply them somewhere else. There's no such thing as failure. And being an Aquarian, you probably say, ha. But it's true. We can see relationships as failures. We can see jobs that didn't work as failures. Or we can see those as chances to learn. And we then make them failures if we don't learn from them, right? Then maybe they are failures. But if we learn from them and we apply those learnings somewhere else, wow, then we know we are learning human beings. We are growing human beings. And we know then we have changed something that could have been a failure into maybe a success, into a life lesson, into part of who we are. And that's what the Seven of Wands, in fact, that's what the Nine of Wands talks about. But I'm seeing that energy here. It's like you are not valuing yourself enough. And that is why your Magician is in the reverse. You're not seeing your power. You're not seeing your ability to create something. But you have it. Or maybe you're just a little bit afraid. So stop failure talk, And then around you have the Wheel and the Eight of Swords. So there's this thing about being trapped again. And it says interference there. So maybe you have felt that something was interfering in your cycle of life, or with your process. But you get the Wheel in the reverse and this Eight of Swords. So maybe, like Cappy, we also got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Maybe you, Aquarius, are going through a slump. Your cycle, it's just simply your cycle of life. You are needing to go through this to come out in a different form and to learn lessons that you can apply in a different way. I'm not seeing heavy energy for you here, Aquarius. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It just is little lessons that you need to learn so that you can take back your power. And I feel like maybe your Wheel of Fortune is it's going to turn, but what you're working on is where you do and don't feel trapped, and only you know what that means for you. For you, it could be relationships, work, whatever. But what does that mean? If you feel trapped in a situation, is it because you're avoiding, or is it because your true inherent nature is an independent soul? If you feel trapped being alone, what is the lesson in that for you? Are you afraid that you can't cut it, that you're not good enough? And I feel like for many of us, our journey is first towards aloneness, as I was saying earlier, and maybe that's yours. But for you, it might be different, Aquarius, and for different Aquarians, it will be different. But that's the underlying lesson, is about this, thinking about what does feeling trapped mean for you? Or this situation, why does it make you feel trapped? What about it made you feel trapped? Made you or makes you feel trapped? And what were the lessons in that feeling trapped for you? What were the lessons that you can use in future so that you do not feel trapped? It's something along those lines. But there's also this honoring your own projects, honoring your creations, standing up for yourself by doing those things, being diligent, showing up. That's your advice, showing up. You know, you need to show up for something. And mainly it's showing up for you, but you're showing up for you by being diligent, by no matter what's going on, being present, doing the thing that you've promised yourself you would do. You know, you're doing it for you, Aquarius. Yeah. I hope this is helping. You know, like, I know my readings are not they're quite esoteric, and they need to be, you know, because one, I'm reading for so many people. Two, the tarot for me is so not about the concrete. It's not about this will result in that. It's about the inner work, and that's what I try to get people to look at. Like when I'm talking about this Eight of Swords, I'm thinking there's a deep lesson for you here with the Eight of Swords, you know. The Eight of Swords is about feeling trapped, but it's mind traps. So if you are in a relationship and you constantly feel trapped in relationships, what is the source of that? Why do you feel that? And standing up for yourself can be about doing that inner work, about looking at how you are in relationships. Why do you feel trapped? Are you trapped? What is the source of it? What can you do about it? Likewise, if you feel at a loose end, if you're alone, why is that the case? What is it about being alone that fills you with fear and makes you feel trapped? You know, like being unable to move forward. Why is a partner the answer? Do you know? That is what I'm getting at. You know you, and your lesson is in there, in the a variation of what I've just shared. And then in your outcome, you get the Ten of Cups with the Princess of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles. It's cold. Yeah, it's very cold. I think I'm gonna. Yeah. So Aquarius, this happy families thing, I feel like you are opting for to focus on your coin, on your stability, and that's okay. It's like that can come when it's ready, but for now, in fact, I think for most of you, you are working on your emotional independence and being alone. That's what I feel. Oopsie, is going on. Oh man, for most Aquarians. Baby, can you pull that for me, please? Yeah. And that's it, Aquarius. I've been drawing one from here for everybody, and what I said I'll do a little the write-up. I don't really use these because I think they're quite specific, you know. They talk about different plants and stuff, and really beautiful, you know. Hija of Water. So I feel Chamomile. Try to be as calm as you can for the month ahead. Be as loving as possible to number one, you. I think you're needing to do lots of tender loving things for yourself, Aquarius. Have tea parties, you know, do things that you wouldn't normally do. Self-care is important, and it doesn't matter who you are, whether you are a manly man or however you identify. You are needing to do this. I think you're needing to fill your cup with mother love. Just do the things that you would like to have done for you. Do them for yourself. That's just so beautiful. And maybe you will take up the habit of drinking chamomile tea, because it does calm. Okay, Aquarius, I hope this helps you. I send you lots of love for the month ahead, and I will chat with you again soon. But please, won't you give me feedback? Won't you like if you like the way I read, and subscribe if you haven't? And I will chat with you again soon. I'm sending you lots of love, Aquarius. Bye.